Priyadarshini, Assistant Professor in the Department of Basic and Engineering. So let's get into some of the basics of PHP which are required for this lab. Let's start with the introduction to PHP. What exactly is PHP? The short form is PHP, which is nothing but Hypertext Preprocessor. Hypertext Preprocessor. So it's a server-side HTML embedded scripting language. The server-side HTML embedded scripting language, and it is an alternative to your Microsoft's active server pages as well as some Java server pages. So whenever a browser finds the JavaScript code embedded in an HTML document, it is displaying like it calls its JavaScript interpreter to interpret the script, right? So whenever browser inputs a document that includes a PHP script, what happens is the web server that provides the document calls its PHP processor. So the server determines that the document includes PHP script by the file name extension. So what is the extension that we use here in PHP? It is either .php or .php3, okay, or .html, which maybe the document has embedded PHP. So here in any PHP code, PHP processor will do two modes of operation, that is copy mode and interpret mode. Whatever may be the code, takes the PHP document file as the input and produces a HTML document file. And when the PHP processor finds the markup code in the input file, it simply copies to the output file. If it encounters a PHP script, it interprets and sends any output of the script to the output file. So this implies that the output from the PHP script must be HTML, either of which it could be an embedded client-side script, right? So PHP is purely interpretive, so as it is in the case with the JavaScript. So how we can relate PHP to JavaScript, that is syntax and semantics of PHP, they are closely related to this as that of JavaScript. So PHP offers dynamic typing. As you can see in JavaScript, that means what is dynamic typing means? It means the variables are not type declared, right? So the type of the variable is set whenever it is used in PHP. So it has got various variety of library functions, and it is flexible and powerful tool for server-side software development. So when you talk about PHP scripts, okay, PHP scripts, they are embedded either in the markup documents or they are in the files that are referenced by the documents. But basically it is embedded in documents enclosed by the tag. That is, we have got the standard tag, standard way of encoding the PHP code. These are the features. It runs on various platforms. It is compatible with almost all servers, and it is freely and downloadable. It is easy to learn, and it is efficiently can be run efficiently on in the server side. So what are the things that PHP can do? It can generate dynamic page content. It can open, create, read or write, delete, okay, and close the files on the server. It can also collect the form data, send and receive cookies, add, delete, modify data in the database, can encrypt the data. So if you want to say that a PHP script has to be stored in a different file, it can be brought into the document with the include constructor. So this is the way how we can import some different file into the PHP script with the help of include constructor. Like this, there are many such features offered by PHP. So, and we also have got standard reserved words in PHP that allows us to perform the task. So, for example, there is no difference between while and capital while or whatever we write. It is all the variable names in PHP, they are case sensitive. Just remember, all the variable names in PHP are case sensitive. Whereas any reserved words, okay, any reserved words or the keywords, not the function names, they are not case sensitive. Means whatever case we write in as per the reservoirs or formations, they mean the same. And in PHP also you can have scalar types like boolean, integer, double, and string. So it can offer all these features. So it also forms the part of the validation process. So where you can validate each and every component. So general syntax of PHP is, we have to include this code, portion of PHP, and any PHP code lies within in the close of the PHP tab. The extension that we supposed to use is there are certain rules to define PHP variables. First of all, it should start with $sign and any variable name. So the variable name will start with a letter or the variable name cannot start with a number, and it can contain alphanumeric characters and keep it in mind that variable names are case sensitive. So what are the components exactly needed to start PHP? Find out the course with PHP along with MySQL install a web server, and if the web server, if it allows the installation of PHP, you can install web server which embedded with all the components, that is including a database. So how do you set up PHP on your own PC? So if the server does not support PHP, you can install web server, install PHP, install database, that is, if you install separately all of the components. Otherwise, your entire web server, for example, bank of RAM server, it includes all the components like Apache plus MySQL, including the console. Okay, you can get all in one component if you have if your server does support PHP data type. So these are the basic data types that are used in PHP, that is string, support string, and characters in PHP are single bytes. So there is no character type here. Any single character data is represented as string of length. So the string literals, they are defined with either single quote or double quote, as you already know. Next, coming to integers and PHP, it has got a single integer type, that is integer. So this corresponds to the long type of C. So most of this is 32 bits or a bit less than 10 decimal digits. The third data type is float. Okay, there's nothing much to say about this, just a variation of this integer. Next, what boolean. So boolean, there are values true and false, both of which are case insensitive. Although boolean is a data type, same as integer, expressions of other types can be used. So let's say if a string expression is used in boolean context and it is evaluated as false, if it is either empty, right, or else it is evaluated to true. Next is about array. So apart from these are array and objects. These are two component types, and we have got two special types, that is null and resource. So most of the times we are using all these data types. Basically, we are using integer, double, string, and boolean. These are the keywords which are used. So most often the time, these are nothing but the reserved words. So we have got various reserved words in PHP, like and, break, case, class, continue, default, for, false, extends, else, if, while, switch, this, to, new, bad, etc. So there are several reserved words in PHP, and I know reserved words are not cases. So let's see this code. So here what we're doing is we are taking the built-in date function, and it is called with the hour intention. This is stored in the variable called t. So here I'm not saying any data type of for the variable t. I'm not specifying any data type that t takes in, but dynamically it is accepting whatever value it is being assigned. It is taking the hour format, and if this hour is less than 20, okay, you have the message being displayed that is have a good day. So this is how we can make use of the reservoirs, especially here the if function. Like this, we can include other reservoirs. Next, let's look into the date function, which we'll be using in our nodes, in our programs. Just see the date format. That's got a particular format as a first parameter plus the timestamp. The format may be in terms of day, month, and year, and timestamp is nothing but your hours, minutes, and seconds. So this date function formats the timestamp to a more readable data. These are the interpretations. So D represents the day of the month. Okay, day it's ranging from 1 to 30 or 31, and month, represented by small m. 12, it has got the value till 12. Next, capital Y represents a year. It's in 4 digits. Small n or capital N represents the day of the week, the day of the week. And H represents the 24-hour format of an hour. Small h represents the 12-hour format of an hour with leading zeros. Next, small I is used to represent the minutes in leading zeros. Small s represents seconds with leading zeros. And therefore, small letter a, which tells you that it's in antimeridum or post-meridum. Let's look into this code. Here we are displaying the date format in different forms. Here being represented along with the slash format, then we have got month and day. And its date is being displayed in different formats. In dot format, in different format, or it is in a long line format. So this is how we can include it. We can see different versions of date by including the date built-in function. Here in this code we have set the time zone. So how do you set the default time zone is with the help of built-in function date default time zone set in PHP, and we call the location zone, whether it's in America or New York or Asia, and the time will be set as per this zone. And you will get the hours, minutes and seconds, and whether it's in AM or PM with the help of date function. Session. So how do you start a session? What exactly is a session? Let's say a user has browsed the web page, and he starts locating some information on the web page. So he does all the updates and tasks, and then finally closes up the browser. So this entire thing is called as a session. The starting point when it is open the browser and performs a task or updates any item, and then closes off the entire browser. So this is called as a session. Who maintains this? There's the help of session variable. You get to know what exactly is who is the user, what is the state of the user, and where and all he has traversed. And this is the thing that is found in a session variable. And we use in PHP we have got a built-in session variable that is $_session. Okay, and session underscore start helps us to initiate the parameters for a particular session. Next, this is about session variables. Session variables, they solve the problem that is by storing the information across multiple pages. Storing the information across multiple pages. We get everything at one point for a particular user. So session variables, it actually applies to one particular user at a particular time. Okay, most sessions they use user key in your computer that is it looks like this. And whenever the user browses of the session, that means whenever user starts browsing, that session ID will be attached to the user, and that session ID may be matched with the user key on the user's computer. If it's the same, then if it's same, then we can the same user can be allocated for the same user can check for the next try. That is, this user key will be matched with the session ID for a particular user. So if it tallies up, it means that it is the same user that we have logged in. Next, this is about how do you create or how do you change session variable, how do you override a session variable. So using print underscore r dollar underscore session, we can print all the session variables that are there for a particular session. Or else we can set the session variable like this using dollar underscore session of what is the parameter that I use favorite color, which is being set to 10. We have used XAMPP or BAMP. We'll be using either XAMPP or BAMP in our execution. XAMPP is a free and open source cost platform web server solution stack package developed by Apache. It has got all the components including Apache MariaDB database, PHP and Perl programming languages. Likewise, you can also use a BAMP server. It is a much more feasible solution rather than XAMPP, and it has got all the components including PHP, Apache, MySQL and Kubernetes and support. So this is the outlook of XAMPP. These services can be started and configured. You can change the settings of the service. You can change the ports of the services during runtime. During runtime, we can start the execution of the respective services. And in the console page, you can view the ports that Apache is using or MySQL is using. So all of these services can be started at once, or one or two components can be started at a particular point in time. So this is about WAMP. It's a web development platform and it allows to create dynamic web applications. So what are the features of WAMP is you can manage these services, MySQL, Apache, and MariaDB. You can install and switch between these services. You can access the logs and create areas. You can use the virtual host as hosters. And you can also manage a server setting. This is how the WAMP server looks. You have got all the components and you can start the services, and you can run your database queries in PHP MySQL and look into the result of the execution in localhost. Hello, welcome back to the presentation on Web Lab. I'm Mrs. Archana Priyadarshini, Assistant Professor in the Department of IC, Canada Engineering College. In addition, we look into the code consisting of PHP, which tracks the number of visitors plus in order to display a digital clock. So in this code, first of all, we have to track the number of visitors visiting the web page, as well as we have to display the count of the visitors. So for this, we have included certain style sheets, certain styles in as a part of the heading, and we have included a form. First of all, we have given a label to see the initial page views. So we have included a PHP session start function wherein it initializes the attributes for of the visitors who have just visited the page, and we have included an eset function. Eset, if the page is not at all visited even for the any number of times, so we are going to set the session variable, which is given by dollar underscore session of visited to 0. Else See, for that, if no visitor has visited the page, we have also printed a message saying page views counter initialized. Else, if the page is already visited, we increment the count of the session variable and display the page views as the updated page view count. And as and when the visitor reloads the page, its views are incremented. So this gives you the count of the visitors who have visited the web page. So for this code, we have also included certain styles for the web page. This is how the result looks like. For the first time, the page view counter is just initialized, and you can observe the count is 0. And next time again, if the visitor reloads the page view counter is incremented by 1. So this is how you can see the next time if the visitor reloads the page view counter is incremented by 1. So next is about digital clock. The purpose of this digital clock is to display the current time of the server. We have included a header that refreshes for each second, and and I've also mentioned the code or the code snapshot or the web page that has to be refreshed for each second. That is the current web page itself. Okay, current web page, and I've named this as a form of PHP extension. So this is the code that is going to get used for each and every second, and it is we have to set the time zone to a particular zone. For example, we are in Asia, we are going to set it to Asia or Kolkata. So a built-in function called date default time zone underscore set is included in this PHP code, so that it increments for each and every second based on the time zone. And if we are going to display this time zone in terms of a table, we have included a border set to 1 pixel, and within the table we are mentioning a date. We have mentioned a date whose format is date, month, and year, along with the hours, minutes, and seconds. So this gives you the detailed date format, which will be taken from the time zone set and refreshed as per the particular content given. And this is how the result looks like. So we are given a header called digital clock, and given some styles for the web page, and the date is displayed as per the date format within a table. The current date will be displayed along with the hours, minutes, and seconds.